everyone, so I know it's been such a long time and I feel quite embarrassed to be gone for so long, and it's kind of embarrassing coming on camera again, but you know, a lot of things have been going on and you guys have been so kind to me, just checking in on me daily, weekly, wondering whether I was okay or if I was, you know, coming back to YouTube and blogging and all that. To be quite honest, it just felt like a year. It's been like 4 to 5 months, I think, that I've been that I posted my last video, but even on like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, I've been just not posting as much either, just because, you know, just things going on, and you'll like get to know what it is. This is why I'm making the life update video. Good things, bad things, just, I don't know, just life in general. But it feels strange to be back on camera. I did like not quite like it was when I first started, but a little bit similar, because when you do this all the time and you're posting twice a week and this is kind of your, like part of your life, and you're, you know, Instagramming, blogging, it's just like becomes a norm. And then if you're like not doing it for a while and you start to do it again, it just feels so weird again. So I hope I get past that really quickly. But I did miss this, you know. So most of you do know that I've had thyroid surgery back in December 3rd of 2015. If you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you saw the updates. If you followed me for quite a while, for like 6 years, then you know that, you know, back in 2009, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. I had surgery, radiation, the whole 9 yards. If you're interested in watching that video, you can, you know, check on my channel. I do have a video on that, so I won't get into many details. Basically, you know, just like with anything, you know, with any like type of chronic disease, you need to get checked regularly. And unfortunately, in one of my checkups, it showed that, you know, the cancer had come back. So I had cancer reoccurrence. And now I'm saying reoccurrence because then later on, we've kind of rediscovered that it may not be such a reoccurrence, but I'll get into that. I don't want to make this video all about this because there's much better news to come, but just to give you a brief story, because you guys have been asking me how I've been feeling or if I'm okay, and I don't want you guys to think that I haven't been filming because I'm doing poorly or because I'm doing treatment. Right now, I'm fine. I'm just, you know, I'm good. Everything's controlled. I'm just, you know, recuperating from my surgery, but I would have to say that's like past, you know, like out the door, except for minor like details with my medicine, but that's it. So yeah, basically tests showed that, you know, there might be reoccurrence. We did the whole thing, biopsies, ultrasounds, the whole M.I.A, all those types of diagnostics, and it showed that it was back. I got a surgery scheduled on December 3rd. Had that surgery. That was a much harder and more extensive surgery than my original one. You can still see my scar now, not on this side. It's bigger. So they extended my original scar, which was sadly already like healed and barely noticeable. So they had to open it again and then extend it all the way to the left side, because they were going to touch a lot more on the left side of my neck. It was a lot more extensive because they like went lower down. Last time I got my thyroid removed, just lymph nodes in my central neck, like right here. So of course it was painful, but it wasn't nearly as bad. This time, like I was bruised all the way down here into like my chest area. So it was a lot worse and harder to go back to work. I felt like I was run over by a truck. It was just so incredibly hard. But that was, you know, it's been January, February, March, April. So it's been like 4 months. I think it took me a month to kind of feel like my body was moving the same again, and that, you know, for the bruising to go away and for me to feel just like I had normal movement. Energy levels though have been quite a process, but not so much to do with the surgery itself. It's because I'm readjusting my thyroid medicine. I don't have my thyroid, so, you know, I depend on thyroid hormones that I take daily. And since I switched to a new doctor and a new hospital for this time around, they're just changing it a lot. So I'm doing blood work every 1 to 2 weeks to try to get the right thyroid dose for me, and it's just not working. And I know this is like slow, and it took me 2 years to get it readjusted last time. I was hoping it wouldn't take as long, but it is taking quite a while. And it just, if you know anything about thyroid and how if your levels are slightly off, it can just change your entire mood mentally. It changes you physically, you know, gaining weight, losing weight, low energy, depression. It's just like not a fun thing to do. We've since learned that with my new biopsy, 10% of it had a new type of cancer, which is more aggressive and less curable, which was scary. But then I'm at a university hospital right now, and I wasn't at with my first surgery. So what they did request was my original cells from my surgery back in 2009, and then they went back and just did all the, you know, biopsies on that, which is amazing to me that 6 years later they can still go back, look at the cells, and do it like it was yesterday, you know. So funny enough, which is really not funny, but at least it makes me feel a little bit better, is that they came up with the same type of cancer, and with that rare cancer, apparently it was already there to begin with in 2009, so it's not something new. The other hospital just missed it with their diagnostic, you know, when they were doing the biopsy. I don't know, they missed it. First it seemed like, oh no, 6 years later now you have a new type. Now it seems more like it's still the same, you were just misdiagnosed the first time. The other thing that makes me feel a lot better is that now with this information, they think this cancer coming back wasn't really cancer reoccurrence. It was probably left behind, and per protocol, based on all my findings the first time, I should have had an extensive surgery. I should have had the same type of surgery that I had this time last time, and had that happened, they believe, you know, these 2 lymph nodes that were the ones that had the cancer would have had been removed, and now I would have been cancer free still. So they don't necessarily think anymore that it came back. They just think that it was left there because no one touched, you know, the left or right sides of my neck. They just touched the central. So it was just like super small though, and it was pretty much undetectable in all the tests that I've been doing. And then of course it keeps growing 6 years later, then it's detectable, and that's when they saw it. Bottom line, they think my first surgeon, my first hospital had done a more extensive surgery, I would have probably have been fine all these years and not had a cancer reoccurrence. So we're calling it reoccurrence because technically, paperwork wise, and it was a reoccurrence for me because I was cancer free for 6 years, and then the scary episode came back. But technically it might be, we never know, but it looks like it was just things that were left behind. So hopefully this is the end of it. Hopefully now we're just looking at, you know, monitoring like I was doing before and getting my thyroid hormones back on track, and that's like the end of it, and I can't wait to feel back to normal. So that's kind of my update with my thyroid situation. I want you guys to know that I'm fine. I'm not going to be doing any more treatments. I saw 2 different doctors. One wanted me to get another round of radiation, which I was kind of against of doing, just based on my research, and just, I don't know, I just didn't want to put my body through more radiation that already had been. And then when I ended up staying with this doctor at the university where I got my surgery, she's like a big known thyroid specialist. She said she agreed with me. She didn't think I needed the radiation because, again, we don't think it's a reoccurrence. We think it was left behind. And my body really didn't respond well to the first round of radiation anyway. What they got out was mostly surgically. Radiation didn't seem to like pick up on this type of cancer, the more aggressive one. The more aggressive kind that I was diagnosed with doesn't really respond to treatment that well. So it was like almost like no point of doing that, and it was going to harm my body. So that's what I decided. I already had decided that regardless, kind of, but I'm glad the doctor had the same opinions, the one I ended up choosing, so that's where we're staying. So no treatments, I'm done. Now I just need to heal. Really sad still about my scar, because I keep on pointing to the right side, but it's the left side. because it took me such a long time to get my other scar to look like nothing was there. And now I feel like I'm back to square one. I'm not trying to conceal it or anything. I don't put concealer on it or foundation. I've just been like treating it really well. Every time I go out in the sun, I put SPF. Usually use Mederma because it's like a scar cream and it has SPF. And then I'll put bio oil at home, like when I'm inside, like I'll massage it. When I put like coconut oil on my body, like as a moisturizer, I'll like do that as well. So I've been really careful with it. It still kind of feels grainy, which just means on the inside, you know, it's still healing. The tissue's still like clumped on the inside. I'm actually going to get an ultrasound on the 21st, just to see. That's going to be my first ultrasound since surgery, because they can't do it too soon because you're healing, so they really can't see anything. At this point, they think they can start seeing if there's anything left behind or how things are looking. So I do have that on the 21st. But other than that, I just wanted to let you know that I'm doing well. You know, it was really hard getting over this and like just getting my body back to normal. Way harder than the first time, no doubts. But I wish they would have done this the first time, because I would have just had, you know, better prognosis and got it out of the way versus having to do it 2 times, you know. And it's like hard on you mentally, physically, and financially, really, because these things are not cheap to treat. So even with the health insurance, it's just not affordable at all. So yeah, so enough of that. You know, I just wanted to give you an update on my thyroid situation. And yeah, so I hope you're not too worried about me. But again, thank you so much for all of you who have been really concerned. But I don't want you to be too concerned, because I am doing much better in that scenario.